as you see here, Breaking Benjamin, Stained, and Pantera of all bands on the same day we were playing. I don't even know how I feel about that. I don't even know if I'd watch. I mean, my opinion on that is an unpopular opinion, I guess you could say, which is weird because you would think it would be. Say it again.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I know, and it's just I think we both agree, and it's just weird that you would think the majority would agree with us, and they just don't. It's like everyone's just like, yeah, Pantera's back. Let's just celebrate. It's like I don't know where that came from. That's the last thing I thought. So even if I got called for a tour or something, I don't know what I'd say if they were like, "Hey, you want to do merch for Pantera?" I'd feel obligated to say yes, just because I mean that's such a big career move. But I don't agree with what they're doing. I mean, and not that anybody cares what I think, but it would just be. I just think it's weird, man. And I've had this conversation with many people, and I don't know. I try not to get into it too much and let people enjoy it for what it is, but it's just not something that's for me.
No, I agree, and I mean, more power to them if that's what they want to do. But I remember it was on Slayer's final tour, the last leg of the final tour. I went to a show. I think it was like the show I went to was like 2 weeks before the actual end, so it was like one of their last 10 shows. And Phil Anselmo was on that tour doing. It was him and the Illegals or whatever doing a whole Pantera set, and I think that was I want to say that was like right after Vinnie had died. And obviously I was too young to see Pantera. It's interesting to hear those songs live from Phil, but I just, even then, I'm like, man, I just don't think he would be doing this if Vinnie was still alive. And then of course this whole Pantera thing happens, and I mean, the Zach Wild speculation, I mean, that's been going on for like 15 years. So, it makes sense to have him fill that role, and Charlie from Anthrax and all that. But yeah, I don't know, man. It does feel a little cash grabby to me. And I'm not into that. But on the flip side, I will say I was initially really opposed to the Static X reunion. And I still think it's a little strange, but it has grown on me. I thought their new record that came out last Friday, I think it was, I thought it was decent. It was good. And I think that's the final recordings of Wayne that exist. But so that grew on me a little bit. But this Pantera thing, I mean, it's been what, about a year now, and I'm still just as sour about it now as I was then. So I don't see my take on that changing.
Yeah, I agree. The Static X thing, I obviously worked for them and worked for them with no issue whatsoever. I didn't even really think twice about it. But I guess that's been so many years now, though, that I mean, I think the first time they toured was 2019. So I think we both originally thought, well, that's kind of weird. They have you know, Wayne, somewhat of a zombified Wayne, as some people might call it, on another guy. But I don't know. I wouldn't say I got over it. I guess I kind of heard what they had to say about it, and I guess I kind of understood it. And now working for them, I'm personally behind it now, and I got to hear it from a lot of the band. And it's the thing is that it's just different circumstances. For Pantera, you clearly hear Vinnie Paul on Behind the Music saying, without I don't know if it's on Behind the Music. It might be an interview that he did, maybe with Loudwire or something, where they're asking him about a reunion with Zach, and he's just like, no. I mean, there's just there's no Dimebag, there's no Pantera.
Once again stated that a Pantera reunion is completely out of the question. So why do you think people don't get tired of talking about it or asking
people
for it?
People are selfish, man. They want what they want. They don't care what you want. And it's unfortunate that people go, oh, wow, man, they could get Zach Wild to jump up there on stage and it's Pantera again. No, it's not,
Yeah.
It's not that simple. If Eddie Van Halen wants to get shot in the head 4 times next week, and would everybody be going, hey, man, Zach, go play for Van Halen. Just call it Van Halen. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's really selfish for people to think that, and it's stupid,
It wouldn't feel right, I guess.
No, it's not right at all. They call it a reunion for a reason. It's called bringing the original members back to what it was, you know. So there's a lot of these things that they call reunions that aren't really reunions. They got one dude from the band floating around in them, you know. I mean, that's not a true reunion. With Pantera, it'll never be possible, you know.
Did everybody just forget about that or just completely disregard it? Because at this point, I mean, the entire, estate, everybody's behind it. Rita's behind it. Guy Sykes, who tour managed them for many years, is behind it. And it's like, I don't know what to think about it, but like I said, who cares what I have to think? It's just interesting that you would think it would be the opposite, where most people wouldn't be supporting it, but those shows are doing great. But yeah, they're on tour again soon, I think, with Lamb of God, which, Lamb of God plays they're direct support for every arena band, aren't they?
Well, one more note on Pantera. I feel like if there was no Dimebag, if it was somebody else, and him and whoever it would be and Vinnie weren't brothers, maybe this would have happened when Vinnie was alive. But the fact that Dime is his brother, I mean, yeah, there was no way that this was ever going to happen. And I think that's the hardest thing. I mean, you knew that guy was not going to go play Pantera tunes without his brother. And same with Hellyeah. They eventually did end up playing in Columbus, where Dime was murdered back in what was that, 2004. So I guess this will be the 20th anniversary, I believe. But I mean, that only happened in like 2016 or something like that. You know what I mean? If it took him that long for a band that was totally unrelated to his brother to even play in the same city, I mean, there's no way that he was going to play those songs without his brother.
Right. It's just, it's like as soon as, Vinny's gone, maybe not as soon, but still, I mean, it took some time to put everything together, but I mean, he's gone and it's like, yeah, let's just move forward, keep this train rolling, and let's just do what we intended to do this whole time. So it's hard to see anything any other way, but that's just what I believe, and I'm surprised that more people don't agree. If you want to see full episodes of the Take Me On Tour podcast, be sure to click the link in the description or visit takemeontour.com. Thanks for watching.